La bataille de France ne fait que commencer.
It's really happening, gang. Trump isn't just winning here at home. MAGA, or better, Trumpism, in a very real way, is taking over the world. We're going to see how populist parties are even now changing the political map like never before, and what it all means for the rise of a new conservative age. Hey gang, it's me, Dr. Steve, your Patriot Professor, here to help you stay sane in these insane times. So make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button, and let's dive right in. As many of you know, a couple of weeks ago, we had the European Parliament elections across the continent where literally hundreds of millions of voters in 27 countries took to the polls to elect their representatives in Brussels. When the dust cleared, both politicians and pundits alike were stunned to find that the nationalist populist right across the continent surged to heights never seen before in modern European politics. There was nothing short of a political earthquake that weekend, and its aftershocks have left the European political elite absolutely stunned. But of all the headlines detailing the ascent to the so-called far right, Politico's was the most telling. They called the election, quote, Europe's Trump moment. Europe's Trump moment has arrived. It was a fascinating piece, and its basic argument is that the European elections are triggering a political upheaval equivalent to that caused by Trump in his election as U.S. president in 2016. And one of the ways that we're seeing this upheaval, as the writers of the political article noted, is that it's simply no longer feasible to refer to these parties as far right or radical right or hard right. They are now the mainstream. They are the mainstream right, the center right. And it's the old mainstream center right parties like the Republicans here in the States or the Tories in the UK that have proven themselves to be completely out of touch with the nationalist populist sentiments of most Europeans. Now, on the heels of this article by Politico, another article came out. Actually, it just dropped today. It's written by Dan McCarthy, the editor of Modern Age, and it's entitled, Nigel Farage Makes the Trump Moment Permanent. And again, it's a fascinating piece that draws comparisons between what Nigel Farage of the Reform Party in the UK is doing in their upcoming elections just 3 weeks from now, and what Trump did with the Republican Party back in 2016. In other words, both Trump and Farage are basically third-party candidates that are seeking to replace a mainstream party. So Farage is not just trying to win a seat in Parliament. He's actually trying to position the Reform Party to replace the Tories as the new right, the truly conservative populist right that the Tories claim to be, but only end up betraying their voters time and time again. Similarly, Trump was a third-party candidate who got a major party nomination and has been in the process of transforming the GOP into a thoroughly nationalist populist party. So both Farage and Trump, in their own ways, are actively attempting to completely overturn their political status quos. And of course, they're having enormous success in doing just that. The latest polls show that Reform UK have actually pulled dead even with the Conservatives. It looks like it's not only going to be a blowout election for Labour, which, keep in mind, is more of a protest vote against the Tories or the Conservatives who've been in power for the last 14 years but have betrayed their voters at every step of the way. So just imagine an entire party made up of nothing but Mitch McConnells. Okay, that's what British voters are going to be doing in a few weeks. They're going to be absolutely punishing, rightly so, punishing the Tories by deliberately voting Labour. But at the same time, it looks like many on the right are jumping ship and they're going all in with Nigel Farage's Reform Party. And that might even end up beating the Tories, positioning themselves successfully to replace the Tories. I mean, it's absolutely astonishing. And it's only just the beginning. Wait until you see what's happening in France and in Canada. This is going to absolutely blow you away. But first, gang, you have seen how much UFC fighters love President Trump and how much he loves them. They're both fighting for faith, family, and freedom. But did you know that our camaraderie actually goes way beyond just fighting against wokeness? We can actually get the exact same pain relief that the fighters in the UFC get, precisely because a fellow patriot and good friend of this channel is the one who provides relief to that pain, and he's here to do the same for you. Now, we all know that as we age, aches and pains are normal, but you know they don't have to be. And that's where the groundbreaking medical scientist Clint Winters comes in. Clint is a world-renowned health expert who's unveiled a natural pain reliever that's taking the world by storm. It's called CB2. I love this. It's a 100% drug-free way to get full-body pain relief without dangerous meds, and it is the official pain reliever for the fighters in the UFC. So whatever you do, make sure to click on that link below and check out Clint's amazingly informative report on how CB2 is changing lives by providing safe and powerful relief at a fraction of the cost of pain pills. Click on that link below right now.
Hamad Mira.
After the stunning win by Marine Le Pen in National Rally in the European elections, French President Emmanuel Macron stunned his nation once again by suspending France's parliament and calling for snap elections in early July. Now, few people can discern what Macron's rationale is for this, but for whatever reason, he wanted to hold another election, and it looks like he's only going to end up paying the price for his own conceit. With less than 2 weeks into the first round of elections in France, all the polls are showing that National Rally is poised to win 1 out of every 3 seats, a total comparable blowout win to what they did with the European elections. Macron's party, Renaissance, looks like they're going to come in at a distant third. Again, it's an absolutely stunning turn of events. National Rally actually has long been on the fringe of parliamentary elections. Now they're actually poised to win them. Absolutely astonishing. And something comparable is happening as well in Canada. As many of you know, back in 2022, the populist Pierre Poilievre took over as leader of the Conservative Party in Canada, and he has quickly turned the party into a more of a Canada First coalition, bringing in the working class voter, the blue-collar voter, turning the Conservatives more into a heartland populist Alberta party. Look at the latest polls coming out of Canada. I mean, seriously, look at this. They are crushing Soy Boy Trudeau's Liberal Party by 20 points. They're poised to absolutely demolish the Liberals in their next election. And of course, Alberta being the heart of that vote. The province of Alberta has been called the Texas of Canada, and they're obviously leading the way to a nationalist populist blowout. So what does all this mean? Well, it means that politics in the West are indeed changing, and changing radically. The kind of center-right, center-left politics that dominated the West over the last 3 or 4 decades reflected a world that simply no longer exists. It was a post-World War II globalist world that was dominated by the idealism of Western liberalism, where democracy and free markets were destined to rule the day, right? It's what Francis Fukuyama called the end of history. With the death of the Soviet Union in 1991, the whole world had now supposedly found the single political and economic system that would unite all nations. No one believes that anymore. Very, very few people are putting their faith in the success of a single political and economic system that will subsume all the nations of the earth. No. Instead, more and more populations are now returning to nation, culture, custom, and tradition as the way forward. Each nation is embracing their own unique identity, returning to their own unique way of life. And that's increasingly leaving the idealist Western liberal outside in the political cold. The world is turning back. It's re-traditionalizing away from the secular progressive left and re-embracing their customs and traditions that give life its meaning and its purpose. This is the magnification of the world. And as you can see, there's nothing liberals can do to stop it. Here's your opportunity to tell big tech tyrants where they can stick it. Click on that link below and download our brand new cancel-proof Turley Talks app, and you can sign our special declaration of restoration. That's our petition to big tech that declares a new day is dawned. They are no longer in control, and we are taking our nation back. We've already got over 1,000 signatures of courageous patriots, and yours is next. Click on that link below or go to fight.turleytalks.com right now.